sunshine. I realize I am in sunshine. The skies are turning blue. Would you like to go to the top of sunshine?
Hello, welcome to another episode. In this episode, I want to talk about conflict. And there's basically, in my worldview, three ways in which conflict can arise between science and religion. First, you could have accurate religion and inaccurate science, and that could cause conflict. You could also have inaccurate religion and accurate science, and that could cause conflict. And you could have inaccurate religion and inaccurate science, and that could cause conflict. In my own worldview, for the most part, whenever you have accurate religion and accurate science, it's the same truth. And so you won't see conflict there very often. I guess it's possible there still could be some things that might seem to be in conflict with our limited understanding and knowledge, but I believe that all truth will be circumscribed into one great whole. In reference to this, I think it's important to realize that President Nelson said, "There is no conflict between science and religion." He said, "Conflict only arises from an incomplete knowledge of either science or religion or both. Whether truth comes from a scientific laboratory or by revelation from the Lord, it is compatible." I think that's a pretty interesting statement by President Nelson. Furthermore, Elder Uchtdorf said, "To be perfectly frank, there have been times when members or leaders of the church have simply made mistakes. There may have been things said or done that were not in harmony with our values, principles, and doctrine." So clearly, it's possible that things that we thought were true may not be actually true, because maybe religion made mistakes about assumptions and about ways of looking at the world. And for sure, this is true in science. In science, there's been many things that have been overturned by new evidence, have shown that previous explanations were not as good as new explanations. This is why, in science, it's always tentative. It's always trying to figure out what is the best answer. And I think that in some ways, that's the right approach for both religion and science, is to be a little bit tentative, because there's always a possibility that new information, new revelation, new scientific exploration may come to a better, more complete knowledge of the truth. If we then take this example of conflict and specifically hit on the idea of evolution versus religion, we can see that many institutions have figured out a way to have these two ideas coexist. For example, in the Catholic Church, they've said evolution in nature is not inconsistent with the notion of creation, because evolution requires the creation of beings that evolve. The Pope further said, "When we read in Genesis the account of creation, we risk imagining that God was a magician with such a magic wand as to be able to do everything. However," he says, "it wasn't like that. He created beings and left them to develop according to the internal laws and that he gave each one so that they would develop and reach their fullness." So clearly here's the idea where, science, evolution, and religion can coexist. Another example is in Buddhism, where they say that science and Buddhism share a search for truth and for understanding reality. By learning from science about aspects of reality where its understanding may be more advanced, I believe that Buddhism enriches its own worldview, said the Dalai Lama. So once again, science, evolution, and religion can coexist. And even in the Church of Jesus Christ, this is one of the statements that's given surrounding this. In a different video, I'll talk about kind of the official position of the church. But this is an interesting article that was written in 2016. What does the church believe about evolution? And in this article, it said the church has no official position on the theory of evolution. Organic evolution, or changes to species, inherited traits over time, is a matter for scientific study. Nothing has been revealed concerning evolution. So it would seem that the idea of this statement is that the church doesn't really worry about what happened in evolution specifically, that they're going to worry about other things that the church is supposed to be doing, and they're going to let science do what science does. I think it's important that in the Natural History Museum of the church at BYU, at Brigham Young University campus, the Bean Life Science Museum, they have this entire wall where it says Perspectives of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And once again, they have on there where they have this statement from 1910, our religion is not hostile to real science. That which is demonstrated we accept with joy. And again, that's the whole kind of the theme of this YouTube channel, right? Is that which has been demonstrated we accept with joy. And then the other thing that they have on this wall is they cite this 2016 article, and they bold, nothing has been revealed concerning evolution. So essentially the church is not worried about that idea. And so it is perfectly okay that science, evolution, and religion can coexist in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And in case you didn't feel represented, because maybe you're not Mormon, here's a ton of other religions that also basically have the same kind of position where evolution and science can coexist with their institution. This, of course, is not an exhaustive list. There are some institutions, some religions, some organizations that their fundamental doctrines or fundamental beliefs just go against science and evolution. For example, young earth creationism, right? That's just, it doesn't coincide. It cannot exist with the broad understanding of science that we know, both about the earth, the age of the earth, and how that all came together, including how the universe came together, but also specifically about the origination of new species on the planet. In other words, what evolution tells us about the idea that species can change over time and that allele frequencies can change over time. And so some institutions, some religions, I understand, are going to have conflict. But I think by and large, reasonable people and reasonable institutions that have really looked at the evidence in science and really thought about their own doctrines and really thought about how are we going to understand God's understanding of the universe. I think most of the time when that happens, the institutions come to a conclusion that science, evolution, and religion can coexist.
Sunshine with me. The doors are open, the skies are too. Sunshine is coming in for me and you. Sunshine.